Alright, Hamlin Magnus. So apparently, there's some things a-brewing. Things a-bubbling. Victoria Alonso, I'm hearing, is saying that Disney did not say, Ms. Alonso, you're fired. They're saying they did. Sounds like some political things going on here. And I'm hearing Disney might be having a lawsuit. So let's check this out. Let's see. Check out this Deadline article here. Victoria Alonso weighing legal action against Disney and Marvel over sudden firing. So this one is saying, fired. This was written on the 24th. Serious consequences, promises lawyer Patty Glasser as Mouse House points at indisputable breach of contract. Interesting. The Walt Disney Company is facing serious consequences and possible legal action over the pink slipping this week of Marvel VFX chief Victoria Alonso, making it clear to Bob Iger and Kevin Feige and everyone at the House of Mouse that she is not going quietly. The Oscar-nominated producer has retained the services of Patty Glasser to that end, with competing points of view on what was going on and BTS, whatever that is, the Glasser, Weil, Fink, Howard, Avchin, and Shapiro LLP partner, good Lord, that's a long name, is putting Disney on notice. In a statement released Friday for the now former president, physical and post-production VFX and animation production for Marvel Studios, the litigator who is already taking Disney-owned Lucasfilm to court for the canning of Star Wars TV series, The Acolyte. I'm sorry, it's just funny to me because, you know, they're getting rid of these series. I think they're starting to dump stuff because we all know they woke everything up and it highly irritated most fans. It says here, the idea that Victoria was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a personal passion project about human rights and democracy that was nominated for an Oscar and which she got Disney's blessing to work on is absolutely ridiculous. Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. Then she was terminated when she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made a really poor decision, and that will have serious consequences. There is a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one forum or another. Things are getting gritty. Disney isn't taking that shot across the bow without a missive of their own. Quote here, it's unfortunate that Victoria is sharing a narrative that leaves out several key factors concerning her departure, including an indisputable breach of contract and a direct violation of company policy. A Disney spokesperson told Deadline this evening, we will continue to wish her the best for her future and thank her for her numerous contributions to the studio. Who's telling the truth? We're both telling a little bit of the truth here. What's going on here? Alonso Stills has her possibility in your superpower memoir coming out later this year on Disney Imprint. Interesting. The very press-friendly Alonso, who was consistently an outspoken champion of diversity at Disney, to the point where she called out then Disney CEO Bob Chapek to take a stand against Florida's anti-LGBTQ plus legislation, Don't Say Gay bill, abruptly departed earlier this week from Marvel Studios after a near 2-decade run. So I ask you again, Mr. Chapek, please respect, if we're selling family, take a stand against all of these crazy outdated laws, Alonso told a glad audience over the clear discrimination move in the sunshine. You know what, though? Entertainment's entertainment. I really don't think that, politics belong in entertainment, even though they have been sprinkled in there. Now check this out over here on Cosmic Book News. It says here, Victoria Alonso clashed with Kevin Feige, and Disney is afraid of woke backlash. New information is learned about the firing of Victoria Alonso from Marvel, where it is reported that executives butted heads with the head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, and it seemed Disney is afraid of possible woke backlash from the LGBTQ and left communities. Victoria Alonso is a gay female Latino executive at Marvel who has come out against such things as X-Men because of terms contain the word man in it. And Alonso blasted the former Disney CEO Bob Chapek, which we just talked about. The end of the MCU's Phase 3, the entirety of Phase 4 and the start of Phase 5 have seen a number of characters and storylines introduced that are about the woke agenda of replacing original characters in order to make them LGBTQ or people of color or to fit with progressive storylines. The characters are not only replaced but sometimes eliminated entirely, ironically because of their gender or skin color doesn't fit the woke agenda, and often the characters are emasculated. Tell me about it. It's woke when the left and LGBTQ groups of people are put on a pedestal at the expense of another group, regardless if the story is any good, instead of raising both groups up at the same time that mutually benefits each other. So it's obvious that Victoria Alonso has been pushing an LGBTQ agenda within the Marvel, which is no secret, as the Disney execs have also publicly stated. They have not so secret plan to push a gay agenda. Yes, that's true. However, again, the problem is not that LGBTQ characters and storylines have been introduced. That's true. It's that the LGBTQ characters and storylines are being introduced at the expense of existing characters and storylines that don't play out organically. Yes, stands out like a sore thumb. It's just, hey! It's just like, this is very abrupt and inorganic. Why are you doing this? Why are you going out of your way to eliminate existing characters and stories? That's right. That is very, very right. Regarding the potential backlash and clashing surrounding Victoria Alonso following it learned Disney actually fired, you're fired, Victoria Alonso, Jeff Snyder reports new details surrounding her exits. Among the details include that Snyder says people at Marvel have no idea that she had been let go on Friday, which supports that Variety reported about how Alonso was blindsided. What is really interesting about what Snyder said is that Snyder claims what led to her firing is that Victoria Alonso clashed with the head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, and his number 2 at Marvel, Louis D'Esposito, with Variety also offering Feige didn't intervene. Quote, from what I heard, the big three at Marvel have been clashing for a bit. My source says for the word fired to appear in Variety's story as often as it did, that something must have happened. Even the Variety story noted who was in her meeting. HR lawyers were involved. Was there an incident? Did something happen? said Snyder, who added, there were clashes. Snyder doesn't go into detail about what the three execs were butting heads about, but it's seemingly pretty obvious. As with that woke agenda, fans have been fleeing not only Marvel brand, but Disney's Star Wars brand, which just like Marvel is doing now, Star Wars was destroyed. And destroyed its original characters for the sake of promoting a woke agenda. This is all true. It's known that it didn't work out for Star Wars, and it's not working out for Marvel. And may I add, it's not working out for none of your other properties either. We see what's going down with The Little Mermaid. We see what's going down with Peter Pan. It's ridiculous, the changes that they've made just to push this stuff. And now Victoria Alonso has been fired. It's not a coincidence. So what do you think, folks? I guess we're going to hear a whole lot more about this stuff as things continue to percolate and bubble to the top. At the end of the day, I just want to be a happy fan again. That's it. That's it. We've all, for a while now, see, here's the thing, for a while now, just as a guy that likes to go to the movies, I've seen strong women, strong men, I've seen people of color in great positions and characters as in Hollywood. We've come a ways back from our earlier days as Americans. Are we perfect yet? No. But it's so weird about how certain things are crammed in. It kind of makes me think of, how I read about certain countries, which I won't name right now, but certain countries like really promote a certain type of propaganda. All countries have their propaganda, but they have a certain type of political propaganda that they've really enforced. It's kind of strange when you see certain clips of their media, and it's like, wow, like, whoa. That's how it is now. It's so abrupt and upfront that it's like, this is senseless, the way you're making these changes. And if you want to push new things, create new characters, stop messing up the characters that have been established for years, that have X, Y, and Z as their traits, and now you want to move it to A, B, C. Like, no. That's not these characters. That's not who they are. That's not who they always have been. Let people have their established characters. Make new ones if you want to push these new things. You know what I'm saying? And if people want it, they'll accept it. And the fact of the matter is, you changing these established characters, it's not working. We all know this. You want to make money. We want to be entertained properly. So, you know what to do that. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my take on this and thoughts, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Woo!